Honestly, I just grew up in a home, hence the name Genetics. My family, they're all into the arts. It was a very strange thing. You could be listening to gospel and then you're listening to a lot of Bach, and then you're listening to Van Halen, and then you're listening to Jean-Luc Ponty, and then you're listening to, just everything. Santana, and then you're listening to Mana, and then you're listening to, so there's a lot of, it was just like everything was always going on. My dad's a musician, my mom's a singer, dancer, everybody like had something going on. So that's really where I got my start. It's just like, pop locking and doing windmills at 5 with my cousins in the middle of the living room with cardboard. Yep, that's really where it started. So I grew up in church. I won't say the denomination because I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but I grew up in a specific denomination. And it was a lot. There was a lot of rules. And one of those rules is like women really couldn't do anything. And we all know where we kind of pretty much stand as far as women preaching, but I was like, there were so many different things that I wanted to do. So I was like, hey, they won't let me in the pulpit, I'll put it in the poem. All right. No, for real. I was like, what can I do? I have something to say. What can I do? Let me look at scripture. And this was very young, like 8, 9. Let me look at scripture and see, like, what are the guidelines of what I can do? Because I know God's placed something in me to say, just based on the things that I was going through. So it's like, poetry seems to work. So I wrote like little rinky-dink poetry in the beginning. It's just like, you do your little presentation at church and, everybody thinks it's good. It's like, go ahead, baby. Let the Lord use you. And then it was fine. But then, like around 17, 18, when I was in a group like of rappers with 2 other dudes, we were in Lamert Park and, got to spit with some other people there. And that's where I found out that I was whack. And I was in the midst of a lot of secular poets. And then that moment, that's when I was challenged that, like, this is what I want to do because they were extremely dope, but I want to do it for the glory of God. First thing first, I could not be whack. That was the first thing. So it was there, and I just kept coming back week after week, kept still talking about Christ, and people began to listen, and people who were not believers began to ask questions. And so at that point, I knew that in order to gain an ear, I couldn't be whack. So I started to study the craft, and that's really kind of where it came from.